So, Piggy. What? You all thought that this was going to be a Thomas video for my final video on CapCut? Nah. So, Piggy. Piggy was created in 2020 by Roblox developer Minitoon. The origins behind Piggy is that he was once playing very bad quality Peppa Pig horror games with his friends. Then, a thought struck him. Could he do it better? To test the idea, in just a few days, Piggy was created, published on January 28th. For a little bit, the game wouldn't be that popular, with barely any users playing. But then one day, suddenly, it blew up! The COVID-19 pandemic had started, with millions of people trapped in their homes with nothing to do. Millions of those kids joined Roblox, I included by the way. In just a matter of 83 days, it would receive 1 billion visits. Yes, 1 billion! Because of it, Piggy earned many rewards and broke many records. Can you believe that this zombie apocalypse Granny X Peppa Pig Roblox game is 6 years old? I know, right? It certainly feels like 2020 was just 1 year ago. I started playing Piggy around June or July of 2021, around the time Book 2 Chapter 9 was out. I got engaged to Piggy thanks to a Think Noodles 10 Bots video, more specifically, playing 10 Bots mode in Mall. The video kinda got me attached. I played the first chapter, and I was hooked. There's just something about the game that's just so appealing. It could be different for some of you guys. It's maybe the characters, or how simple the game used to be, or the banger songs. Good lord, just listen to them.
Wash clean in the river, but my mind's not at ease. All these memories within my past have got me on my knees.
But what I think the main thing that gets you engaged into Piggy is its story and lore. For a game that was originally a granny parody with Peppa Pig characters, you'd think that there wouldn't be a whole lot. But man oh man, there's a lot to unpack here, ranging from characters' backstories to chapters, etc. I always loved Piggy's story, and I think it's finally time that I share all of it with you guys. This is the story of Piggy as of May 2026, before Piggy Inner City comes out. Not too much is known about the world itself in Piggy yet, but what we do know is that it has a continent named Avalia. It's also a country, kinda like how Australia is a continent and a country in real life. This is where the anthropomorphic animals live. However, some humans also choose to live there too. It also houses places like the main city of Lucella and the town, Amberdale. Here are the many locations it has, because I enjoy yapping. The Piggy Residence, Lucella Police Department Station, The Alleys, Lucella Gallery, Lucella Oil Refinery, Lucella Middle School, Old Lucella Manor, Lucella Theater, Lucella's Grand Hotel, Forest Hospital, the Metro System, Mr. P's Carnival, the Unnamed City, the Safe Place, Mall, the Fort, the Military Outpost, the Power Plant, Old Oak, Willis Factory, Sewers, Port, the Bell Residence, Millstone Medical School, the Courthouse, Shadewood, the Poppy Seed Farmhouse, and all of the random Piggy Inner City locations. A Tale of Two. At some point during their elementary school period, Mr. Paul Poppyseed, or as everyone or we call him, Mr. P, meets Mrs. Piper, or Mrs. P, and become friends. Mr. P didn't have a lot at the time, so it was good for him. The two eventually become good friends to the point where they develop a secret hideout behind a bookshelf. Then in their later years, around high school or so, they started a romantic relationship. And finally, in their even later years, after college or so, Mr. P proposes to Mrs. P, who accepts and gets married. Later, inspired by Mrs. P, Mr. P decides to open up a carnival. At first he struggled with managing it, being unable to open a good profit, but as time went on, it became a big success. Mrs. P, now a doctor, tried to resign her job now that Mr. P can support them both, but she had to stay in Lucella because they were low on doctors. Protection Services through Mechanics and Machines. Very long and clunky name. At an unknown point before the 70s, Protection Services through... Okay, I'm not saying all that again. PST-M&M was founded by Mudson Murphy, in which it resided peacefully for years. Later, for unknown reasons, a robotic copy of one of the employees, named Ryder Page, was created. It's unknown how it happened. Sooner or later, an introductory video was created for new employees in PST-M&M. However, an early version of the video was leaked, showing abnormal elements throughout the video, like Ryder Page looking like he's doing the video at force, along with this 8-second clip at the end, where the robotic copy of Ryder and a bunch of other creepy robots just sitting there, menacingly. This video led the public to grow suspicious of PST-M&M, along with another employee reporting this to Mudson. With that, Mudson decided to make an apology video. The video included public figures like Mr. P, Ellie Ermine, and Dr. Theodore Davinchi, who I genuinely thought was Antio, to help with the video and support the company. Before filming the video, Mudson and another employee named Harry Hunt have an argument. Kinda goes a bit far. Then more things go on. During the editing of the video, an unknown strange clip was added by Harry, leading to Mudson becoming completely enraged and lashing out at Harry. Later, in 1972, wow, Piggy has evolved so much that there are even years of events that happen. Ryder Page and PST-M&M entered a lawsuit against each other, likely having to do with the public video leak. PST-M&M wins, and Ryder is sentenced to prison. Now, since I'm not a big expert, or barely even knowing the lore to the next segment, I'm going to hand it over to a person who actually knows. Take it away, GKids1213.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Pig 64 section of this video. Oliver hasn't beaten Pig 64, so he got me to fill in to explain Pig 64 and the lore surrounding. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. We start off with an innocent video titled Hello Employee.
Hello everyone. You're probably wondering, hey, why is the PST-M&M bit being reviewed again? Well, the thing is, I didn't really know that, PST-M&M was associated with Pig 64, and, yeah, I don't know how I didn't know that, but I just didn't know. So, enjoy having it be explained to you again.
Where we see a guy named Ryder Page explain what they do at Protection Services, Mechanics, and Machines.
Hello there, I am Ryder Page, Tech Consultant. If you are watching this, today is your first day on the job.
In the video, he explains the impact on technology and the rules of the workspace that weird things start happening.
Here is our young and talented engineer, Mr. Clip, and what he thinks about this.
I need my space.
Now,
Wait, that ending was strange, right? And it wasn't just you. The tape managed to become public and rumors started to surround PSM-AM like he was robotic and on edge the whole time.
Well, on that tape, there's a lot of things, to say the least, that people took in a very wrong way, including the EEP. They thought Mr. Page looked like he was forced into doing it, that he was uncomfortable, that the robots were evil, that we turned Ryder into a robot. All these empty claims. Or we respond.
The owner, Mudson Murphy, decided to make a response video called Regarding the Rumors, where he regards the rumors.
Wakey, everybody! We've got a video to film. Oh, come on. I don't bite. I'm just a monkey.
Malicious lies on our name have been spread and sold to many who have bought in so quickly. So we wanted to dive behind the scenes and see what our company is actually about and what people actually think.
The video shows off their achievements and investors such as the Mr. P,
I think they're great.
Ali Amin,
Rolling, ma'am.
I think Protection Services is just wonderful, and you should all keep supporting it and buying their products.
Dr. Fedor Davinchi,
Protective Services for Mechanics and Machines is exactly the company you want for what they're doing there. Robotics, mechanics, the absolute best of the best.
and finally the Mudson Murphy.
Well, my dear viewers, I hope this has opened your eyes to what Protection Services truly is and what we truly strive for.
But employee Harry Hunt did something with cut camera footage, trying to ruin Mudson's reputation. Mudson finds out that Haley added the cut footage in. He yells at him, and Mudson's wife came in, probably saving Haley.
What did you do? I don't know what you're talking about. Stop lying to me! What do you think I did? You set me up! You punked me! Okay. Just put me down and I can explain myself. And tell me why you did it!
What is going on in here?
Oh, Anna. I was just having a talk with Harry here.
A talk? With him up against the wall while you yell at him?
I'm sorry, my love.
Don't call me that. Come on, Harry.
That was all about the business behind the Zort console, which led on to be a big console with a game being worked on called Pig 64. They started working on Pig 64 in 1970, and then not even 2 years later, in 1972, Pig 64 got cancelled. The reason it was cancelled is because something happened to Munson in Protection Services, and then the company fell down. Everything stopped for a while until 1980. Mr. P issued the company's revival, and all projects got continued like Pig 64, being worked on again in 1983. But the thing is, the original creator died, so instead they formed a new team called Netix. Development was fine until a mysterious virus called Nor started terrorizing the team, so they decided to kick him into the part of the game called the warehouse, where he couldn't really access anything, and kept going with development. In September 1984, Pig 64 finally released, and it was strange. So that's why Detective Charlie decided to investigate the game and look for the warehouse that they locked Nor up in. The player finds a weird rat NPC that helps him find the warehouse, until it ends up being Nor and they engage in a boss battle. When beating Nor, it ends up Charlie did exactly what Nor wanted and freed the virus. Oh, that concludes the Pig 64 part of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this part, and I'm going to be going away. But I do want to mention that Pig 64 is most likely not over, and we believe that there's going to be the sequel to Pig 64 coming out called Piggy ? Alright, bye for now.
Thank you again, Anthony. The Misfits is past. In the alleys resided a family of wolves, them being two parents, a girl named Willow, and her younger brother William. The family was extremely poor, and as a result, had to steal the little food they could get, and had to fend for themselves. Unfortunately for them, their parents were caught while stealing by two officers, and were arrested, leaving Willow and William all alone. Thankfully for them, a soldier and a TV store owner named Daisy heard about the two and started to take care of them, and became their foster mother, bringing food and supplies whenever she could, and sometimes sleeping with them. They both deeply cared for Daisy, and she did the same to them. But good times come to an end, because at some point, a draft was called in for soldiers in Lucella, and being a soldier, Daisy was included in this, and unfortunately on her part, had to abandon Willow and William in order to go, leaving them more alone and devastated than ever. After that, William became very upset and refused to even talk to Willow. At some point after Willow, Tigray was born. Unfortunately, things weren't much better for him. He was raised by some bad parents. His father neglected him and his mother ignored him. At school, he had no friends and was often tormented by bullies. He even was a good student in school too, getting good grades and earning trophies, but his parents never cared. Nothing was being done. Eventually, Tigray got tired of his usual life and ran away. Sometime after doing it, he finds a poster for joining the military. Encouraged by the words on it, he decides to join, working under Sergeant Monroe and alongside Danny, both being good allies to him. Tigray proved successful during his time at the military, completing his training sessions at boot camp very quickly. At some point after that, a war breaks out between two nations, Avalia presumably being one of them. Tigray and Danny are thrown into the battlefield and infiltrate an enemy base. I think. They both run up to the bunker to get in, but just when they were there, Tigray falls through the ground and ends up in a very dark part of the base. Danny shouts down to Tigray that he'll find a way to get down to him, with Tigray's weapons strangely disappearing. At least 10 minutes or so later, Tigray encounters a strange paranormal creature, this being Umbra, clearly hostile. Tigray later also encounters portals which lead him into past memories such as boot camp, his classroom, his home, and an invisible maze. After going through all that and finding strange symbols, Tigray puts in a code to get into a room full of armor and grabs a knife, which he uses to stab and defeat the creature. In a turn of events, Tigray was hallucinating the extra chapter the entire time. And the worst for him, the creature he hallucinated and stabbed was Danny. Because of all those events, Tigray deserted the military shortly after and has been living in a metro station ever since. The Bells. Two rabbits met at an unknown point and got married, probably during the time that Will and Tigray were born. They had 3 children, Bunny, Bella, and Bonnet. The family lived in a large wooden house in the middle of a forest before the parents passed away at an unknown point. After that, at some point, Bunny becomes friends with Shiloh, Sheepy, and Gloria. After that, she celebrates her birthday by going to a restaurant and to an arcade with her friends and family. Then, one day, while she was at a mall, 3 bullies physically attack her, causing Bunny to have her eye severely damaged or lost. As a result, she had to get her eye patch as we all know today, except for that one picture at the end of Book 1, Chapter 12. Anyway, years later, Bunny began attending the Millstone Medical School alongside Sheepy, other students including Katie Kirby, Peyton Paddle, and a few other minor characters. Bunny presumably graduated, and at some point after that, spent a Christmas with Bella and Bonnet. Pre-Book 1. At this point, William had enough about Daisy leaving. Willow tells her friends, Pony, Rash, and Brian Billy about the situation. Billy suggests stealing, quote-unquote, something nice for him, and this is how the heist is put into action. They decided to steal a pie from a warehouse called Baba's Pies. However, Officer Polly found out about their plans and chased all 4 around the alleys. Despite his best efforts, the group still gets a pie. Willow brings it back to where she lived, only to discover that William had left, and the only thing that was left behind was a scarf, making her heartbroken. First her parents, then Daisy, and now William. After that, she obviously gets arrested. a zebra named Zuzi convinces her twin sister Z to sneak into Old Man Eddie's mansion with her in order to see if the rumors are true. The rumors being that he can turn people into toys. She also said that if Z didn't come with her, she'd go alone. Z, being a caring sister, I think she doesn't really speak, reluctantly goes. They go in, but come face to face with a machine called Duakora, and chases the sisters all around the mansion and tries to attack them. A while later, they both restore power to the mansion, still being chased, but manage to get out, only to find their big sister, Zizzy, at the gate and scolds them for going off on their own. Zizzy tries to frame Z, saying it was her idea, but Zizzy was having none of it. Well, Z can't talk at all, so who would believe that? Then Old Man Eddie comes, and of course, Zizzy is scared the crap of him, begging, whimpering, and crying to not have them turn them into toys. Understandably, Eddie asks what the hell she's talking about. Zizzy also apologizes to Eddie for letting the twins run loose. Zizzy apologizes as well, but then states it was Z's idea again. Zizzy, do you really think that they're going to fall for it? Eddie accepts both of their apologies and tells them that he hopes that they learned their lesson. Zizzy notices that Pony's not there with them, and mentions that he was supposed to look after them. Conveniently after that, Pony pops out of a bush in a Frankenstein costume, exclaiming that he found candy. Zizzy then states that she may not only look after Z and Zizzy, but Pony as well. But all is forgiven. The three zebras go trick-or-treating, ignoring Pony, who's stuck in the bush. But the events of the mansion aren't over yet. Eddie goes into a secret room downstairs, where he has a crystal, a map, and a journal, researching what is called the insolence. More on that later. He then calls a friend, Finley, for help, saying something big is going to happen, and isn't too happy about it. Possible subtle foreshadowing. One day, Mr. P was looking for food outside, when he hears a rustle in the bushes. He checks out what it is, only to get hit by a baseball in the face. Here, he meets the three Vegeteers, being orphan children, Olivia, Brooke, and Chloe. Because of them being orphaned, both Mr. and Mrs. P felt bad and decided to adopt them. The family stays like this for 6 months. Unfortunately after that, Mrs. P becomes very sick and eventually becoming very weak and disoriented. It turned out that Mrs. P gained a very rare type of cancer called how do I pronounce that again? Lionoma. Mr. P decided to take the matters into his own hands and later funded Lucella Hospital to do research on the disease, donating half of his money. And we all know that hell will break loose because of this eventually. The beginning of the end. Sometime later, Willow continued stealing, which caused her to be increasingly arrested more. In this chapter, taking place in the alleys, the player and Doggy are searching for thieves who have been stealing supplies all over the city. The player narrowed down the location to the alleys. Once they enter, Rash just appears and starts chasing them around. Soon, the duo find Willow and chase her down with Rash behind them, and corner her in her room. She begs the player and Doggy to not arrest her and says that she was just trying to feed her family, but the player voices that she disobeyed the law, which is kinda true. Rash tries to sneak attack the duo, but Willow tells him to stand down. Rash, of course, is kinda pissed about it. The player and Doggy then arrest Willow and Rash. Shortly after, the player questions if it's the correct thing to do, but Doggy quotes, "We do things because we have to, not because we want to." Honestly, kinda philosophical. Mr. P eventually put together a research team to try and make a cure for Mrs. P's sickness. Bunny wanted to join, but got into a big argument with her sisters and got all really upset about it, but despite that, she decided to join anyway, along with Sheepy. Dang, Sheepy does literally everything with Bunny. After lots of trial and errors, they made a cure for Lionoma, being dubbed Substance 128. Unfortunately, the team was rushed by Mr. P because he was desperate for volunteers to test it, and the team knew it was unstable. Enter the Piggy family. Preston, Pearl, and Penny later went to volunteer for the cure. Fortunately, it showed positive signs. At first, the family experienced signs of strength. Mr. P, overjoyed by this, gave Mrs. P the cure, and it was a success. But then, the Piggy family showed signs of aggression a few hours after they took the potion. Because of the Piggy family's hostility, little brother Georgie runs away, and soon, all hell breaks loose. After he... Okay, yeah, I need some water. After hearing about the Piggy family, Mr. P went to check on Mrs. P, who was also slowly turning into an infected by the time he found her. While that was happening, the 3 Vegeteers ran away. Because of Mrs. P's diagnosis, Mr. P had no time for them. Apologizing to her, Mr. P didn't have the heart to stop his wife in this state, so he decided to lock her in an apartment in the city. Before she fully turned, Mr. P gave her a picture of himself so that she'd never forget him. And that was the last time Mr. P saw Mrs. P. However, ruining the moment, at some point, Mrs. P was kidnapped by an unknown group in order to not disappoint an unknown sir, and that is how the rest of the story is put into action. Book 1. This is where the first ever chapter takes place. At some point after Georgie ran away, the player was called in to look for him. The chapter starts off with them getting out of the car and about ready to enter the house, the last place Georgie was seen. Suddenly, they hear a sound, and not a few seconds later, bonk. Penny had hit him in the head and locks them in. Okay, it's established that the infected can write, but how the hell do they lock every door in their own home? The player wakes up in the bedroom. Soon after they regain consciousness, they try to escape, being chased around by Penny, fortunately managing to escape and start to head back to the police station. Before Chapter 2 happened, Willow was in her cell at the station when an infected pulley came walking and limping around past Willow's cell, leading him to accidentally dropping the key to all of the cells. Willow escapes and heads back to the alleys. Not long after, the player makes it back to the station, which was completely empty. They ask if anyone's here, when over the loudspeaker, Doggy announces that there's a monster or an infected in the station, and whoever's in the station, they need to get to the garage now. As the player roams the station, they encounter Mother Piggy, who, like Penny, started to chase them around. Where's Polly? I got no idea. The player eventually gets into the garage and comes across Doggy, who came to the station on his day off to see if the police officers were doing fine. Waiting in his car for the player, he asked them to bring him a can of gas to fuel the car, and just like that, the player gives it to him and they both escape the station. They both start chatting about what is happening, and Doggy comes to a conclusion that they should get to the bottom of the situation. The chapter ends with Doggy abruptly asking how much fuel was in the can. It turns out that there wasn't very much in it because the car ran out of gas right in front of Lucella Gallery. Also terribly sorry how I pronounce gallery, I know it sounds unbearable. And as if it couldn't get any worse, Mother, Father, and Sheepy all surround them. Out of pure luck, the duo make a quick escape. As the player and Doggy get ready to board up the gallery, they realize Father went in with them. So they decide to escape again. After they do just that, the player and Doggy have a chat about the player's personality and how they shouldn't let this situation make them forget who they are, and they both travel somewhere else. Around this time, Willow goes into a house at the alleys and approaches a room where she sees Rash, now infected, being held by boards blocking him in, so he wouldn't cause any harm. After finding this, she left and burned down her old home at the alleys with a torch. Soon after, she found Tigray, who was homeless at the time, sitting next to a fire to keep warm. This is where the two misfits first meet, and boy, it's going to be crazy. Willow takes pity on Tigray and invites him to join her. The next day, they both find Pony sitting by a river, looking at an old picture of himself and his old friend Zizzy as kids. They both take pity on him, and then invite him to join them. Soon, the three were recruiting more and more people such as Katie Kirby, Kitty, Pangway Pandy, etc. This formed the Silver Paw. As some point before the events of Chapter 4, all of Willow's lackeys, including her, break into a hospital and steal a Substance 128 potion. Now, we don't know when this chapter takes place exactly, but we do know that it takes place between Chapter 3 and 10. Georgie wakes up from a nightmare and asks Penny if she's awake. No response. He asks again. No response. Then, he notices that she's not there. Georgie gets up, walks out of his room, and after that starts to see crazy shit. Something was wrong. So many holes, so many scary things, and memory? After escaping his home again while being chased by memory. What's her role? Georgie finds Penny in the front yard, facing away from him. He tries to get her attention by asking if she's okay, but she doesn't answer, and walks away into the black mist. Georgie tries to chase after her, but then keels over. He utters to himself that he's not feeling well, and oh he's becoming infected! Oh. It was a dream. How did he get here? Mr. P and Bunny went to Lucella's school to rescue Gloria, but they both didn't know that she already drank Substance 128 and had become infected. Mr. P locked himself in the sewers, while Bunny locked herself in the surveillance room. It's been 4 weeks since the player and Doggy had moved to the forest, and the player recalls that the 3 infected were their friends. Doggy just doesn't comment on that and tells the player to get some sleep. Later, unfortunately, TSP arrives at the forest and finds the duo. Will orders Pony to give the potion to the player and Doggy so that it'll infect them. Pony reluctantly does it and runs off. Suddenly, the player is woken up by a bark and glass shattering. Doggy is nowhere to be seen, and there was an empty potion near the fireplace. The player starts looking around, and soon, they find an infected Doggy and Sheepy. Turns out, Sheepy had followed them to the forest, and it took 4 weeks. Okay. After escaping the forest, the player finds a walkie-talkie when a voice speaks through it. The voice speaking from the other side was Mr. P, asking if anyone was out there. Mr. P tells the player to go to Lucella's school to rescue Bunny from the surveillance room. And, of course, Gloria was still there, and just like every other event, she chases them around. Eventually, the player gets the book to unlock the room Bunny was locked in, and they both go to the sewers and meet up with Mr. P. All of a sudden, the player falls unconscious. They later wake up briefly, seeing Bunny taking them to the hospital on a stretcher, also seeing a hallucination of Doggy, and falls back to sleep. Shortly after those events, Pony was looking at the same picture of him and Zizzy, feeling guilty about what he did, and decided to leave the Silver Paw for good and join Zizzy at the same place. At some point after that, TSP recruits Foxy, but then he was quote-unquote relocated. By relocated, he was thrown into a carnival cage and at some point later got infected. After the player fell unconscious, signs of the infection were found within him. But before they could do more research, the hospital was raided and Bunny was attacked by an infected. Mr. P gave her another rushed Substance 128 potion to cure her and told Bunny that he was going to wait on the roof. Soon, the player wakes up in the hospital. Bunny, overjoyed to see them awake, tells the player that Mr. P is waiting on the roof and isn't safe anymore. Because of the raid, one of the doctors named Barry got infected. When they finally reached the rooftop, they discovered that Mr. P had left and abandoned them. After a good few minutes, they decide to go through the metro instead. Before the player does, they notice that Bunny is standing without doing anything, and asks if she's coming. Bunny replies that she is, and then it's shown that Mr. P left a note saying, "I have to do this for our own good." Soon, the player and Bunny arrive at the metro. Shortly after they do so, Bunny tells the player that she's not feeling so well and needs to rest a little, leaving her crossbow for the player to use. They both see that the Mass Rapid Transit Metro train needs to be repaired. Yes, I'm being a train nerd in a Piggy video, shut up. Anyway, the player has to fix the train while being chased around by Piggy. Sooner or later, the player fixes the train and tells Bunny this. However, Bunny reveals that Mr. P gave her a faulty potion because of the raid she was attacked in, and soon she'll turn. player has no choice but to leave her behind, as she is turning infected after all. After they leave, Bunny passes out. She then wakes up hallucinating her youngest sister running through a nearby door. She begins a quest to find her. After walking across the rails and over to the next metro station, she sees her running through another door. After walking through many dilapidated stations and halls, she sees her again, leading to her hallucinating kicking in more. She hallucinates walking down a hallway similar to hospital, seeing shadows of Sheepy and Mr. P walking in front of her. Their silhouettes stop and suddenly turn around, revealing their glowing white eyes before disappearing. After going through many more dilapidated areas and fighting infected, she sees Bonnet again, running through another door, in which she hallucinates her house and sees herself and Brella arguing about joining Mr. P's research team until disappearing. Later, Bunny is still on her quest when we get jump scared by a twisted rabbit. Now this is where the story splits. You can unlock a door where it leads into the rest of the Decay Extra chapter, but there's also a door where you can break with Bunny's crossbow, which will lead into Delirium. I'm going to explain them both, because it isn't confirmed which pathway is canon. Decay Pathway. Bunny is chased by the Twisted Rabbit through a lawn tunnel until escaping through a door. After facing more obstacles, Bunny is chased by the same rabbit again, this time through a hallway. Bunny manages to hide in a vent at the end of the hall and escapes the metro. Bunny crawls out of the vent and into an alleyway and sits down, tired. Then she reminisces about Bonnet and feels heartbroken over not being able to save her. Then an infected mouse approaches Bunny. Out of instinct, she shoots them, only to find out that she was hallucinating again, and the mouse was a survivor. A wolf named Henry...
Shut up, said James. It's not funny.
Walks into the alleyway, seeing the mouse laying on the ground, whom he calls Mary, and Bunny right in front of him. It's then revealed that Bunny has completely turned into another one of them. Henry, who Bunny hallucinates that is Bro and Bonnet, shoots her. This isn't relevant to the story, but an unknown entity starts talking, commenting on the sad end of Bunny's story. But then it hints that there's possibly going to be future endings for this chapter. Was Delirium not the last one? If not, Decay 3 should be called Dementia. My humor's so bad. Delirium Pathway. Bunny is chased by the Twisted Rabbit through a lawn tunnel until escaping through a locked door. There's a flash, and before she knew it, she had ended up in a monochrome forest. She walks along the path, which leads her to a playground, which has a tic-tac-toe puzzle blocking the entrance to a slide, which has pieces missing. After finding all of the pieces and somehow putting in a code, the puzzle breaks completely, and Bunny goes down the slide, only for her/us to be jump-scared by an apparition of a wolf and ends up in an indoor playplace, guarded by the same wolf from before and two other apparitions, all three of them being Bunny's bullies that basically killed her eye. As she roamed around, she found parts of the area that have memories of her past, her birthday, the arcade, and the mall of her bullies. And there are wooden shapes in each one, which are what Bunny had to use to unlock a door leading to somewhere. She unlocks it, only for her to fall through the floor and lands in a hallway with a bunch of other birthday stuff, also finding that she had to pursue another chase, this time with the apparitions of her three bullies. She runs into another hallucination of Sheepy, opening the door at the end of the hallway. Another flash occurs, and before she knew it again, she was back in the monochrome forest. She follows the path again. This time it leads to Bunny's old home. She roams through the house for a minute before going into the reading room, where she discovers a doll of herself, who is staring into your soul. Then it disappears, and everything goes dark. Eventually, she enters the basement, where she places two wires to put the power back on again. But before she can go upstairs again, the bunny doll appears at the door and slams it shut. The wall in the basement breaks into pieces somehow, giving Bunny an escape. She enters a small, narrow maze. Then, a tall ink creature Scullid, I think, appears from the corner of the maze and starts chasing Bunny. Thankfully, she managed to escape. Bunny comes across yet another path, also every now and then coming across another Twisted Rabbit called the Chained. Unlike Twisted Rabbit, however, she can shoot it, and it will go away. Eventually, she reaches and enters the terminus of the path, Millstone Medical School. She then sees a hallucination of Sheepy once she goes into the building. Bunny tries to follow her, but she disappears. For quite a minute, Bunny solves the puzzle to open the school's side exit, and finally leaves the building. After walking up yet another trail with the most beautiful lighting I've seen in Roblox, she reaches Memory Isles, where she finds hallucinations of all her friends along with Bro and Bonnet. The three boys as apparitions begin swarming her friends, and Bunny responds to this situation by defending them and defeating the apparitions. Shortly after, Bunny suddenly starts falling through the sky and landing on the ground just as she hears Bonnet say,
"Why did you leave?"
When she wakes up, she sees some infected coming towards her. She tries to grab a crossbow, but then realizes that it's missing. She had no choice but to fight them with her own bare hands. Just as she was about to do that, whoosh? Someone had set the infected on fire, rescuing Bunny. It was Sheepy. Bunny immediately hugs her in relief, overjoyed by seeing her, and literally not as a hallucination. Bunny questions what happened to her because, well, she got attacked in the forest. She said that she'll explain later. Then, Bunny asks Sheepy if she's seen her sisters, and Sheepy reassures Bunny that whatever they learned from her, they would be okay, and tells her that they're waiting for her. And after that, they walk into the moonlit night. And then it's revealed that they're infected. The end. Holy crap, that entire chapter was 2 pages long in the script! Take me to Carnival, please! The player enters the carnival, searching for Mr. P. This time, they're chased by Clowny, the unknown species. They also have to open up Foxy's cage in order to get the white key. In the end, the player doesn't find Mr. P, but instead finds 2 survivors who are looking for supplies, being Zizzy and Pony. Pony assumes that the player was infected, but Zizzy reminds him that the infected can't talk. Pony, trying to cover up his embarrassment, states that he knew it. This will come up later. As the 3 are chatting, Foxy sneaks up behind the player, ready to attack them. Pony notices Foxy in time and steps in and hits him with his wooden sword. They both then take the player to their safe place. They all must pass through the city to get to the safe place, so it was guaranteed that they will be infected there. Sure enough, they were being chased by Ellie Sinclair and Georgie and Penny's grandmother, Penelope Piggy. But sure enough again, they fixed the gate. As soon as they got in, they started chatting about their lives before the infection, such as Zizzy being a fencing coach, even teaching seeing Zizzy, Pony trying to be an optometrist like his dad, and the player being a police officer. As they were chatting, they noticed a figure hiding behind the dumpster. As soon as they notice, it ducks and runs away. The player and Zizzy go investigate it while Pony stays behind. The 2 track down the figure's location, being Lucella Mall. This time, they're not chased by an infected. Instead, they're chased by a mall security protocol droid named Robbie. He's programmed to protect the mall against intruders, or in this case, infected. The player eventually has to go into the vents where they see Mousy, a legless infected crawling around everywhere. Soon, the player and Zizzy find the room where the mysterious person is hiding and find out who it was. It was Georgie Piggy, hiding from the infected. The missing person that the player was trying to find since the beginning of the infection. He explains that after he ran away from home, he went to look for Penelope, aka his grandmother, but she was infected too, along with all the other people in the city. After that, the player and Zizzy take him back to the safe place where they meet up with Pony again. Also the player first meeting Z and Zuzi, along with Mimi and Giraffe. Pony tells them that they had tracked down a helicopter signal near the military outpost. The player then realizes that it's Mr. P's helicopter. Because of this, the player, Zizzy, and Pony all set off to the outpost. Zizzy also put Z and Zuzi in charge of looking after Georgie. And knowing that Pony let him run off to a mansion being Zizzy's idea, I'm sure that keeping an eye on Georgie won't last for very long. Soon, the three arrive at the outpost. It was an uproar with infected soldiers, and so as they go through it, Vivi has to fight them while being chased by another infected, being tortured. Soon, the three made it through and defeated the soldiers that were in their path. Just when they were about to go into the power plant that was in the area, Georgie appears. He had abandoned V and Zuzi at the safe place by convincing them to a game of hide and seek. The reason why he came is because he wanted to know what really happened to his family. Unfortunately though, he had accidentally attracted all of the soldiers right to them. So Zuzi and Pony stay behind to fight them off, while the player and Georgie go into the plant. And Pony expresses his feelings towards Zuzi, but she already knows. Aww. The player and Georgie enter, and soon find Mr. P, but something was different about him. He had been turned into a cyborg. He passed the two off as people he had let down in the past were coming back to haunt them. The new duo questions this, and Mr. P states that they're not real and runs off. Trying to find answers, the player and Georgie follow him. Now, from now on, in some chapters with really long cutscenes or appropriate ones to include in this, instead of stating what the characters are saying and doing, I've made my own cutscenes in Roblox Studio with an entire voice cast to make everything more entertaining. The reason why I'm doing this is because I think it'll just get very repetitive if I just said, this character said this character said that stuff. I mean, do you really want to hear Georgie was on screen, the player was speaking, Willow and Tiger passed the camera. Anyway, here comes chapter 12.
I wish to be alone, but your memories continue to torment me. You are just as stubborn as I was when I tried to save my wife. But this time, I stopped you as I should have stopped myself.
And that's how Book 1, Chapter 12 starts. I've literally seen that cutscene more than Carnival. This time, the player and Georgie are chased by Mr. P, actually trying to kill him, and another researcher named Badgie, while trying to get Mr. P's attention. After a while, the player, ends up in one giant hallucination of the plant and seeing hallucinations of Doggy and Bunny's ghosts.
No, they're not dead, you know!
And 4 past chapters, being Forest, School, Metro, and Carnival. Convenient that they're in order. Shortly after, the player finds a picture of Mrs. P and gives it to Mr. P, and because of that, he finally gives in, admitting that he's wrong and regrets what he did.
It's all coming back to me. I'm sorry. I left the hospital of researchers when I thought you were infected. They helped me protect myself, and now I look like this. No matter how much they changed me, nothing could protect me from my mistakes.
Finally! You know we're real! Now tell me what you did to my family!
I needed volunteers to help me with my research. They wanted to do just that.
You took them away from me. You hurt them. Now, I'm going to hurt you! Why not? I guess you're right.
You two need to leave now. It's not safe here anymore. I'll fight the infected here until I drop. It's time that I redeem myself.
Come on, let's go meet up with the Z Pony. Are you coming? This is where the ending splits again. The player has the options of choosing the good ending and the bad ending, both of which are not canon. To get the true ending, you have to go back to Chapter 9 and play Player Plus Bot mode, and get a picture of Mrs. P from under a purple car, escape, go into Chapter 12, and once the ending cutscene rolls in, go to Mr. P when you get the option of choosing an ending. In the canon ending, the player stays behind and talks to Mr. P. They ask him to tell them how and why the infection started. Mr. P explains everything that happened, including Mrs. P's sickness, him rushing to doctors and researchers, the Piggy family, and the last time he sees Mrs. P. Mr. P wishes the player and Georgie the best of luck and tells them to leave. It's morning by the time the player and Georgie leave the plant, seeing Zizzy and Pony fighting off the last of the soldiers.
Hey, you two are finally back! We took care of the soldiers, what about you?
Great job, I knew you could do it.
Guys, I hate to ruin the moment, but where do we go from here?
I have an idea! What if we look for a cure? Silence. That's the end of Book 1, and Book 2 is put into full swing. Pre-Book 2. The Holiday Spirit chapter takes place during Christmas time.
No!
Basically, Felix decides to make a play for the Silver Paws leader, Willow. He gathers the rest of the crew, Baron, Philip, Katie, Kitty, Pandy, and Tigery, and they arrive at the entrance of Lucella Theater. They're there to get props and clothes for the play. Felix tells everyone to get only what they need for the play, and quickly because they might be infected. They collect 10 props and 7 pieces of clothing while they're there. They're also chased by an actress named Cornelia Caribou. Eventually, they had everything they needed and headed back to one of their bases, a factory. That will come up later in the video. Later, as soon as the preparations were being finished, Willow comes in, quickly greeted by Kitty. Soon, the play starts, first showing Felix telling a quick prologue. He reveals that the play is going to be about how each of the TSP members joined the group. Throughout the play, it shows recreated scenes of how each of the TSP members joined the Silver Paw. First showing Pandy, possibly noting that Pandy was the 4th TSP member to join the group, then Kitty, then Baron, then Katie, and then Philip. Just when they were about to do Philip's part, the lighting malfunctions. Tigray panics and accidentally falls off his ladder, having it land right on top of Philip. This triggers Felix and then apologizes to Willow for how things went. But since everything was kinda toast now, he explains why they did it. The reason why they did is because of Pony and some other members leaving the group, which made Willow really upset and they wanted to cheer her up. But before he goes on one of those depressing lectures a character has in the latter half of a movie, he's interrupted by Willow clapping, saying that it was the best play she'd ever seen, and then all of the TSP members get into position for a picture to be taken by Willow. I honestly love this moment. It shows that Willow isn't a bad person, even in her days where she was acting like a villain. It's kinda bittersweet if I'm honest. Bittersweet. You know, the quest, like, a long while later, about a year after Book 1 Chapter 12, the Safe Place gang goes on a supply run and finds a radio and takes it back to the Safe Place, as a way to contact survivors if they get the chance. Book 2. Life is going well for the Safe Place. A few days after that supply run, Mimi sends Zizzy and Pony to the store to see if there are any batteries for the radio to work. Before they go, the player reminisces the time they and Doggy arrested Willow and Rash at the alleys before the infection started. Pony asks the player if they're coming with them, with the player asking where. They both explain about the radio and ask again if they want to go with them. The player is on board and goes with them. They make it out done and soon arrive back, and Mimi gets the radio working.
Alright, here goes nothing. Hello? Can anyone hear me?
Are you sure it's working?
Greetings, we can hear you. This is Settlement 6 speaking. Who is this?
The safe place. Yes, the safe place. How can we help?
We are looking for communities to trade with. We'd like to meet up.
Where should we meet up?
Meet us at the Old Oak.
I think we lost our signal.
I think we should meet them. We've been living together for a year without seeing another survivor.
I don't think this is a good idea. I mean, we don't know anything about them. Is this another one of your jokes, Pony? No, Giraffe, I mean it. We have no idea who these people are, and I'd have no reason to trust them.
I agree. I don't think we should trust them, but I still think we should check it out.
What? You can't go, Zizzy! We don't know who these people are!
Pony, we know how to handle ourselves out there. If we get in trouble, we can get ourselves out of it.
I suppose so. I don't feel right about this, but we should try anyway.
Alright, then it's time to meet some new faces. Who's staying?
I need to harvest as much as I can before winter comes.
I'm going to see if I can learn more about this radio. Obviously, the kids aren't coming, so I guess it just leaves you three musketeers once more.
Are you sure this is the place? We haven't seen anyone around.
Well. Look at these familiar faces.
Oh no.
Pony the ex-member. It's a shame you left us. You were a very good friend. It's too bad you're nothing to me now. The officer who took me away from my family must have felt good to rip me away from the ones I cared about, right? And who might you be? You're certainly someone I've never seen before.
Well, you may not know me, but I know every little thing about you and your sick crew.
Is that so? I suppose Pony told you a lot about us, didn't he, sweetheart?
Shut up.
That was one of his many flaws. He can never keep his mouth shut. What to do? Ooh, I know. Take the zebra with us. Leave the two to rot.
No! Leave her alone!
Whoa. Hold your horses, pal. I don't want to hurt anyone. I'm just taking her for questioning. That's all.
It's okay, Pony. I'll stay safe and come back. I promise.
See? She understands. Now let's get out of here.
Busy. You want to know? They're the Silver Paw. When the infection broke out, I needed to find a group to survive with. At this time, I wasn't really capable of surviving. Fortunately, I was stuck with them. They did awful things, but I was too scared to leave. That's a story for another time. Right now, we need to save Zizzy before it's too late. There's no time. I need you now. I can't do this alone.
Soon, the two arrive at the refinery, being one of their bases. While they're trying to find a way to find and get into the room Zizzy's in, Tiger chases them because he was ordered to. Despite his efforts, the player and Pony break into the room Zizzy's locked up in and find her knocking out Polly. How did they get him there?
Pony! It's so nice to see you again! You won't believe the amount of infected I've knocked out today. I even started to enjoy doing it.
I'm so relieved to know you're okay! You're right. We should certainly get out of here. Come on, Zizzy.
Wait. Hang on. I think I may have pulled a muscle. Oh.
Wait. That's not from an infected, is it?
You two need to leave.
No! We're not going anywhere without you! We can get you help! We'll find a cure! We can save you!
Pony, if there was a cure, we wouldn't even be here in the first place. You don't want to see me become one of them, so go. I'll create a distraction and sabotage them as much as I can while you escape.
Zizzy.
Good luck, you two. I'll miss you.
Back at the refinery, as Zizzy starts to become fully infected, she makes a distraction by placing TNT on the gas tanks. Because of getting infected, everything around her becomes distorted and hallucinates nightmarish infected versions of Z and Zuzi, and encounters creepy entities named Sentinels, all chasing her. After finding and putting 3 pieces of TNT on the tanks, she escapes, only for her to be teleported to her mind. There she meets Tio. Oh good god. Tio tries to convince her to join him, also telling her his story, and comparing himself to Z. In an effort to convince her, he lets Zizzy talk to Pony. Hallucination or not, Zizzy talks to him and apologizes. After they have their little conversation, he fades out and Zizzy is taken back to Tio, and puts out his hand. Zizzy decides to join him and moves forward to accept. But just as she was about to even touch an atom on his hand, oh my god! That's it?! Well, that's it. We never hear from Zizzy again. The next day, everyone is woken up by an explosion and debris going everywhere. Georgie immediately gets up and is screaming for the player to wake up. Georgie explains that they need to get out of the building as soon as possible, with the player agreeing to this. The safe place was no longer safe. The player goes around the building recruiting everyone. While the player is doing that, Pony discovers that Z and Zuzi aren't in their room, and also notices that they must have escaped into the vents already. Soon, the gang escapes the not anymore safe place, and finds the silver paw outside, also revealing that Baron was the one that caused the explosions. Willow confronts them, and states that she knows that the player and Pony broke into the refinery. Pony tries to convince Willow to let them be, along with the others backing him up, but Willow is not giving the slightest of She and the other TSP members take the former Safe Place members to the factory and throw him in a jail cell. Mimi and Giraffe apologize for not listening to Pony to not trust the radio, and Pony forgives them. A little while later, Z and Zuzi busts a manhole from the corner of the cell, with the lid evaporating into thin air. Zuzi explains that they need someone to help them get the cell door open. The player volunteers to go, and tells the rest of the group to stay put so that the guards don't get suspicious. Soon, the 3 make it down into the sewers and start finding a way to get the door open. While they're doing that, they're chased by an infected alligator named Alphys. Eventually though, they open up the other manhole. Z and Zuzi go back to the safe place to get some things while the player frees the group. As they're on their way out, Tigery spots them. He gets ready to throw a dagger at them, but he stops and decides not to do it. Willow then arrives at the scene and pushes Tigery out of the way and calls him useless before she points her gun at Pony and gets ready to shoot him. Bang! Before the bullet can hit Pony, Giraffe jumps right in front of him and the bullet and gets shot instead. Giraffe weakly states that he hopes being shot would be enough to save Zizzy, and Pony says it's more than enough. The player tells the others to get out of there while they and Pony stay to fight Willow. The 3 notice a sound coming from the sewers, with Willow saying that something's coming up from there and doesn't sound too friendly. On top of that, she had a weapon. Not too fair and not very fun. And gives us a head start with their time starting now. And by a head start, it only lasts for about 5 seconds. This time, the player and Pony are chased by Willow and another infected named Coley. While all that is going down, the player finds the TSP members all in danger and rescues them. The player also finds 3 wooden swords to give to Pony to knock Willow out, with the first 2 breaking, but the third one works successfully, and they escape. Okay, so this is where the story splits into 2 different canon endings, the Savior ending and the Survivor ending. Instead of typing 2 different endings in each chapter in this so far 14-page script, I'm going to make a part 2 of this video, and explain the Survivor ending there, while I explain the Savior ending here. More interesting stuff happens in the Savior ending.
Willow, stop! They saved all of our lives! Yet, they destroyed mine. Goodbye. Huh? Who are you two?
Well, these 2 are Zizzy's sisters. You took their older sister away from them.
Wait. She had... sisters? I had no idea. I'm so sorry.
That's new.
Pony, she's kneeling over in sorrow.
Why are you apologizing just now?
Well, it's a long story, but I had a rough childhood. My family was extremely poor and had to steal the little things they could get. After a while, they were arrested, leaving me and my little brother William alone. As you might know, luckily, the loneliness didn't last long. My foster mother, Daisy, heard about the situation, and for a while she took care of us. Unfortunately, that didn't last long. She was called up north by the military to fight in a war and had to leave us. After that, William wouldn't even talk to me. A while later, he had enough and abandoned me, leaving me all alone. I know what it feels like to have your family taken away from you, and I don't want anyone to feel the way I did. No one deserves it.
I agree.
But I can save her.
And why would we believe you?
The military moved up north to work on a cure. I've heard this through radio broadcasts.
How come we've never been told about this new information?
I hid it from you guys because I vowed to find William first. If he was infected, I'd cure him. If he wasn't, we'd find safety. I realize now that, no matter what, he's gone. And now, the zebra needs it, for her sisters. Repeating what I said before, I don't want them to feel the way I did. No one should feel that way.
I trust her. We've all lost things, like our siblings. But this is a way for us to all get them back.
I'm giving you one last chance, Willow.
Giraffe's gonna be okay, but he should stay here for a bit. He needs rest.
We'll take care of him. It's a way of saying thanks.
How can we trust you guys, though?
Today you showed us that. We need to work together as survivors. Otherwise, we might as well be infected.
They have the supplies here as well.
I'll be safe here with them. I promise.
So, we're really gonna save Zizzy?
A little while later, the group arrives at the port. Willow explains to them how she would love to take them on her boat, but the tactless tiger stole it. The tiger being Tiger. Well, of course, wasn't it obvious? Mimi notices that the lighthouse isn't working and tells the group that she wonders that there might be a way to get it working again. The player does just that soon after, while being chased by yet another infected named Dakota. Thankfully, a huge boat arrives called the Medora. The group gets on it and asks who's there. Then, a voice calls out who's there. Turns out it's the captain of the Medora, Budgie. The group explains that they got the lighthouse working and why they're here. They need help getting across the North Sea. Wait a minute. What? What? The North Sea is a thing? Wait, it's a thing in real... Wait, does Piggy take place in the UK? While Bungie stated that she has spare fuel, she also explains that it's in the lower levels of the ship, and how the rest of her crew are also there, who are trapped because they're infected, and the curse Davy Jones put on them. Willow and the player decide that they should go down there together. Of course, Budgie thinks they're mad, but Willow, being confident, reassures her that if the infected saw what she could do to them, they'd be scared of her. Mimi also asks Budgie where they would dock at, and if they pulled the ship off. Budgie replies, saying that they dock at Doveport, where Mimi knows an engineer friend there, but isn't sure if he's still there or not. Then Budgie warns the player and Willow to not feed the fish as they would be heading down. After that, Willow and the player head down into the Medora to get the fuel, along with being ambushed by Budgie's infected crew. Eventually though, they find a container with 4 barrels of fuel in it. As the player and Willow, kinda, start to argue about how much fuel there is left, Kenneth, one of the crew members, comes up from behind and slams the door on them, with Willow banging on the door, angrily trying to get it open, and starts complaining that she's trapped in the crate with the player. The player tries to reassure her that there might be a way to get out, but Willow is having none of it. She angrily argues with the player about what they did to her and her family, and eventually asks where her parents are. The player replies that they don't have their records on them, with Willow responding that all they'll ever be is another cog in a big machine. The player states that they need to work together and help each other, or else they'll end up hurting each other and themselves even more. Then, they both hear Georgie's voice, and the door is opened by the former Safe Place members. Mimi explains that they got worried and found no infected throughout the ship, so they went to find them. She also states that they have a mission to follow and a friend to meet. Pony states that Georgie was the one who managed to find them by hearing them arguing from the top deck. Then Zuzi jokes about Georgie being helpful for once. I think that joke references that Georgie does almost absolutely nothing throughout Book 2. Suddenly, they hear loud gunshots and booms from above. They go check it out, finding out that somehow they arrived. Turns out they didn't need the fuel after all. Damn, Willow must be pissed. Soon they make it to Doveport. Budgie wishes them the best of luck on their future endeavors before they part ways. Willow then sees her boat that Tiger stole, realizing that he got here before them. Throughout the chapter, the player and Pony are chased by another infected named Marcus. Soon, the two get the exit open. Pony goes back to get the group while the player goes into this weird bridge tunnel thing, and sees a tiger walking on the other side. The player immediately recognizes that it's Tigery.
I'm Tigery. I remember your face. Back at the refinery, you stopped Willow and saved the others. I guess I owe you an apology. Sorry for trying to hunt you. I was just doing what I was told, rather than thinking for myself. So what are you doing here? She's not here with you, is she? Oh, no. You're on the wrong side. She's using you to get it before me. Isn't it obvious? You of all people should know this. She's not the type to change. She's putting up a show for her own selfish reasons. To save an old friend of mine, just like you. If you join me, I'll help you get your friend back. You yourself should know that she can't be trusted any more than I can. My offer still stands. See you around.
Hey, what did I miss? I'd take that offer in a heartbeat. Think I could catch up? Fine. I'm only doing it for Sissy. I can't look at her sisters without thinking of her. Oi! Nothing to be worried about! It's not one with the chainsaw, so consider yourself lucky! Quick, get inside! It's not safe out here, though you probably already knew that!
Wait.
Mimi, is that you? My gosh, it's been years! How have you been?
It's great to see you too, but, well, I don't think any of us have been well given the circumstances.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, introductions! How could I forget? I am Kona, inventor of the safety mole droid. The one without the chainsaw, that is. This one here is my personal assistant. His name is Robbie.
He's adorable!
You find robots adorable? What is wrong with you?
Now, however, I found a passion for something far more fascinating than engineering. Studying these infected creatures. No offense to my previous interest, of course, but my goodness, these things are so interesting!
Mind filling us in on what's going on?
The military has evacuated everyone further north. A bunch of the infected just suddenly appeared, so they started bombing the place. It's like the infected are getting smarter or something. I think the army's working on a cure. Is that why you're here?
As much as I would love to say we came here to visit, that's why we've come.
Wait, why are you here then?
You think they're gonna take me away from my research? Ha! In their dreams! I'm gonna be staying here as long as I can, but Robbie and I may be able to help you out.
Yeah? And that little tin can of yours?
You bet! The tin can is probably more capable than you too! It can't get infected! You can use the exit to my lab downstairs. Robbie will accompany you, as it's not too safe. In fact, it's probably more dangerous than outside. Nah, I'm just pulling your leg, I think. Keep him safe, Robbie. Oh, and Mimi, it's great to see you again. There's a portable radio in the lab. Take it with you. I'll call you if I hear any news. Good luck!
The player finds out that below Kona's home, there's a small lab and a huge temple. While they're trying to escape, they encounter yet another infected named Spadella, who was created by... Anyway, they soon get the door open and bring the group with them.
Are you sure about that? Tell me, do you recognize this? How about this? We're in your memories. It's not the first time you've been here. The memories, the hallucinations, the whispers. You see, I've been fascinated by you for quite a while. You are unique. Incorrect. You are extraordinary and not obvious. You're supposed to be infected. You are attacked in the Pig residence. Don't you see? You're immune to the infection. You have much potential to do things beyond your understanding. I can help you see your friends again. Are you rejecting my offer? So be it. They're always stubborn at first. Then, after left, they come right back to me. I have but one thing to do. Stay out of my business. If you continue to follow your current path, you will live to regret it.
Wow, you put one heck of a show. If we find a camera, you gotta do that again.
Let me guess. You've seen him too, haven't you? I don't know. All I know is that he's been messing with my head ever since my mind went weak, and his fashion sense is just as strange as himself. After I did certain things in TSP, my mind shrouded in guilt. He used that as an opportunity to get in my head. He offered me the ability to see my family again. That's how he tries to control you and use you for his own reasons. His wicked bribes.
Speaking of your family, have you told what you've done?
Now's not the time, Willow. We need to find that cure.
They deserve to know the truth, Pony. If you don't tell them, I'll do it myself.
You forced me to do it, Willow. I didn't want to!
Hey, let's all settle down now. We're so close to finding what we came here for.
I will stay behind and protect the children. It is my duty to do so.
Hey, no fair. I've been on crazier journeys before. I'm going. It's what my family would have wanted. And no one is making me stay behind.
Yeah, us too! Our big sister's counting on us. Even if she's a mindless zombie, we're not gonna let some cute robot stop us now!
You still think Robbie is cute?
We want you three to be safe. We can't guarantee that out there.
Come on, Mimi. Z and Susie broke us out of a cell through a dangerous sewer system. I don't even think I could do that.
So you're the rascals responsible for that? I'll admit, I'm impressed.
Well...
If we find any cool tech, it's all yours.
Fine. Just don't tell Zizzy when we get her back.
Right then. Let's go.
Bye-bye, Robbie!
Mimi, do you read? There's something going on in the outpost ahead. You're gonna want to hear this.
Kona then explains that the outpost had been really quiet for quite some time now, and warns them to be careful. They soon enter the outpost camp and find a way to get into the lab that's in it. While they're doing that, can I just not say it? They're chased by another infected named Delta, also being ambushed by some other soldiers. They eventually find the elevator that leads to the lab and the team proceeds, but Pony and the player stay behind, with Pony asking the player if he can talk to them for a moment. Pony decides to spill the beans to the player, revealing that he was the one who infected Doggy and tried to infect the player because TSP made him. The player is absolutely livid at this and doesn't know if they could trust Pony again. Georgie, revealing he was there the whole time, gets the player's attention and repeats the words they said to him back in the plant, and tells them that they all make mistakes and it's best not to repeat them. The player realizes Georgie is right and tells Pony that while they can't forgive him, they're still friends. The three move along, but then stop, noticing that Willow is standing still. Sad. The player asks if everything's alright, with Willow responding that everything's fine, and then proceeds. The reason why she looks so miserable is because she saw Daisy, infected, laying beside a building. Soon, they make it down into the underground lab, with Pony saying that they should split up. The group agrees and proceeds to do just that, but then stops and notices Tigery placing dynamite, attempting to stall the group. Tiger then argues with Willow about what she did to him before and claims that she's nothing but a bully. Willow is offended by this, saying that she gave him shelter and food and asks if this is for thanks, and then the argument turns into a huge fight, while the player is trying to stop them with words. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna help. As Willow tries to stranglehold Tigery, an explosion occurs, causing the whole building to shake. Then a portion of the lab collapses, leaving the player trapped. The only option being that they need to find a way out themselves. As the player starts to walk around, a figure peers out from the other side of a door, staring through the window towards the player. Soon the player is nearing the end of finding the cure. They're chased by one more oh dear god! Yeah, Georgie's going to be traumatized. Now, when you're playing Chapter 12 in Book 2, when you enter the room that has the cure in it, it teleports you into a hallucination where Will and Tigery are fighting, where you have the option to save Willow or Tigery. There are 4 different endings for this segment. Willow's Savior ending, Willow's Survivor ending, Tigery's Savior ending, and Tigery's Survivor ending. None of these are canon. In order to get the hidden 5th ending, you have to do things in Docks, where you choose player or infection mode, and try not to have Pony get attacked by the infected. Then, in Camp, you have to choose Swarm mode. In the Blue Room, there's a keypad, where you have to enter the code 46784. Don't you And finally, you get to the lab where there's another keypad with symbols instead of numbers. If you get it correct, you proceed to what I'm going to explain now. While the player is trying to find the room with the cure in it, they stumble upon a radio, and take it to Mimi, and tells her to see if she can get them some help and work her magic with the radio, and continues to look for the cure. The player eventually finds the room where the cure is, but Willow and Tiger are already there, still fighting.
Finish it. You and I are alike, Willow. We keep our pain buried inside. We're both alone, separated from our friends and family. When we first met, you listened to me. I talk endlessly about how I felt, but you never interrupted. You listened. I wish we could go back to the way things were.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt what's going on, but you're really gonna want to come see this.
Look at what we've got here. A distress call sent by civilians. Among them, a deserter and a criminal. Where do I even begin? So I've heard. It's a shame that of all outposts, this one was wiped out. It's almost like something tried to stop it. Just when I thought I couldn't hate my job anymore. Ready weapons! Fire! I must say, I'm rather disappointed in you. Tio, that's my name. Or at least, what I am called. I am also called the Entity, the Insolent, the Inquisious one. I warned you not to follow this path. I'm trying to save everyone from themselves. Can't you see that? Free will is destructive. Free will is what destroys your world. Look at what Mr. P has done. This cure, many will fight over it. Many will lose. What you are doing with this, you are causing another grand war. This time, it won't be against the infected. It will be against your own brothers and sisters. I see you are too oblivious now to foresee the destruction of your future. I suppose now I have no other choice but to stop you and your friends myself.
Then, he turns into holy shit! The player, Pony, Georgie, and Z are brought into Tio's distortion. The player is forced to do puzzles in distorted versions of past events that are in Book 2. Once the player does all that, they come across more distorted areas from Book 1, and hallucinations start to appear. Pony trying not to get attacked by his father, Georgie trying not to fall from a high place, otherwise he'd fall into distorted Penny, and Z staring at an infected Lizzie. The player then realizes that they're in their memories, and they can use the memories themselves to attack and defeat Tio. There is a second level in the distorted place where it has Doggy in the gallery, Bunny in the hospital, and Zizzy in the mall, and the player uses them to attack Tio. Eventually, Tio is defeated and the four are brought back to reality, just when Monroe and his two soldiers are done defeating the infected.
Well, that should do it. Well done, everyone. Now let's have a look at that cure, shall we? Thank you for helping us out there. He's brought me to places like that before, but he's never been that aggressive.
Yeah. My sister. He got what was coming to him.
Tigry, I need to talk to you. I'm sorry for what I've done, which is quite a lot if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, no kidding. You hurt me, Willow.
I got so caught up in getting revenge, I wasn't thinking about the things I was saying and doing to those close to me. If I want to feel the way I did back then, I need to let go of the past and make a better future for myself.
Willow, despite everything you've done, I'm willing to give you another chance. Your family, after all. Just don't mess up this time. This is the last chance I'm giving you.
Well, since I'm sure the military's not gonna let us come with them, what do you say we travel on our own? I'll let you call the shots this time.
I don't want to be in charge. I just want to have a say.
Whatever you say, Tiger. Never goodbye. And thanks for making me realize that in my pursuit for revenge, I've only been pushing others away from me. But it was losing others that fueled that revenge in the first place. No promises, officer. Good luck with saving your friends.
All right, ladies, let's get moving. We've got a mission to complete.
There's a post-credit scene where the group is in Coda's house, Pony and Zizzy converse about the prices of carrots? Okay. But then, the camera zooms out, showing a distorted crack, making it unclear what the scene is supposed to mean. God damn it, why'd that rock? Post Book 2. The one comic book page from the Petty Skin Quest takes place. The remaining Safe Place members travel with the military onto a base far from the camp. As the group enters what probably is a recruiting home, the door slams behind them, maybe locking them in. And that is the last we hear about our main characters. At this time, the capital is established as a way to quote-unquote protect the remaining survivors, likely fortifying the city with protective walls. For some reason, some other individuals weren't allowed into the newly protected city. At some point after that, the capital ended up bombing a part of Avelia, destroying a vial of the cure. Welp, they're fucked. And then at some point after that, the Silver Paw possibly disbanded, with the members going their separate ways. Kitty would go on to form a group called the Liberators, recruiting people left and right, two of the recruits being a dog named Danica and a bat named Bitsy. If you don't know what the Liberators intend to do, maybe to stop the capital on what they're doing. We don't know until Inner City comes out. There's another group we hardly know about now called the Valkyrie. All we know about it is that it's a military organization trying to restore peace through their strength. That's it. After all that happens, Piggy Misfits takes place. Right now, we don't know the story of it, but we do know that the main characters of the game are Willow and Tigery. That's it. Next, Piggy takes place, which is another game that's in the works. The confirmed main characters that are going to be in the game are Bonnet Bell, Brella Bell, and AJ Alpaca from Pig 64. The game is also likely to be centered around protection services through mechanics and machines. This game is also heavily based on Piggy the Lost Book. 10 years later. Damn! Piggy Inner City takes place. Now, we don't know the actual story of it yet, since it hasn't been released. There's also a demo version that came out May 5th, but that doesn't really give us any new groundbreaking lore. The lore we have is the capital, the Liberators, and the Valkyrie existing, a town called Shadewood became a safe place, gaining a mirror, and apparently Katie exists somewhere. That's really it. Either way, I'm hyped to see what the real game of Piggy Inner City will be like. And that's everything. Wow, there was so much to cover and I had fun doing it. There's so much lore that it took 18 pages to explain it all. To you Piggy fans, you guys have a somewhat up-to-date video about the lore. And if you're a new Piggy fan, I hope you enjoyed learning about the entire story of Piggy. Although, this video might be out of date soon because Intercity is going to be coming out on June 13th. Thanks for watching everyone, and have a great day. Bye!